That should just be the podcast, Tom. That should just be the previous 10 minutes of me fucking around yelling at a pair of headphones.
I think we've just jumped into episode 6 of the podcast, Jerry. But yeah, that's welcome to the life of us. Is Jerry going, hold on, what's that fucking sound, Tom? 1 second. Can you hit? What the fuck is that fucking thing? But to be fair, that's nine times out of 10 in life, that's me. But I seem like the more technical one out of the two of us.
It wouldn't be hard, Tom. It wouldn't be hard. I fucking peaked at VHS. After that, I didn't know how to work anything. I'll tell you, all codding and joking aside, Tom, do you know where technology lost me? I can pinpoint it exactly where it lost me.
Go on.
Rewritable CDs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
That is the exact moment technology lost me, when you could get CDs burned, so to speak, and that required downloading MP3s, new things at the time, Tom, and you could put them onto a CD, a CDRW, a CDRW Plus, and some of them would play on a computer, and some of them would play in the CD player in the car, and some of them mightn't play on an older CD player, and it was at that point, early 2000s, when I was just like, fuck it, I'm out. I don't get this anymore.
Am I dreaming, right? Just clarify this for me. Something just popped into my head, and you might be able to, because you're a good man for retro ideas and stuff. Was there a thing that came in that post cassette players in cars that was a CD player, like a mobile, Walkman, Discman, but it also had the means of an aux cord coming out of it into the back of a tape that you put into the cassette player?
Yeah. My sister had one of them in her car, and it wasn't so much, it was nothing to do with the CD player that you had. You could run it off a record player if you wanted, but it basically just converted from the headphone jack of a CD player onto like a hard plastic tape with no wheels in it. And you just put it into the cassette deck, and it made a CD player in your car.
So I'm not meant. Okay.
You're not. No. That was a thing. Yeah. Don't ask me how it worked. Fucking fairy dust or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, that was a thing.
Jesus Christ. So technically right now you could play Kendrick Lamar coming out of a tape.
Oh, Mark III Golf, yeah.
I was just going to say like a Ford Orion or something along those lines.
Yeah, you could bump that shit, Tom. So there you go. Technical hazards notwithstanding, you're welcome to episode 6 of the Tom and Jerry Show. Episode 6 of season 4, Tom. You'll notice I'm not calling it the finale of season 4.
Well, I wish you'd say it was season 5, because that's the one we're actually in, Jerry, right now.
Hang on. Let me take that again, Tom. 3, 2, 1. But you're all very welcome to episode 6 of season 5 of the Tom and Jerry Show. And you'll notice, Tom, there, eagle-eared listeners will notice that I didn't say the season finale of season 5.
No, you did not. And I also we'll circle back. I do need to know if eagles have actually ears, but we'll confirm that later in the show, or at least take a stab at it. But you're right. You didn't say finale, Jerry, which is finale. For the last 4 seasons, or for the 20 years we've been doing this podcast, it seems we have always wrapped up and said goodbye, day, up to belly blanket, off to bed, ball burst. Thanks for the use of the hall. Good night, Mrs. Riley. We'll see you next year. We're normally out the gap on the 6th one, and there's bitter sweetness because, we actually enjoy this, but there's more bitterness than anything else, and sadness and melancholy that we have to head away into the sunset on the 6th episode of the series. But that's not happening.
This for whatever reason, Tom, and I can't pinpoint whether it was just sheer egomania, desperation for company, or certainly wasn't a fucking wealth of good ideas, that's for damn sure. But we decided to throw another couple of episodes onto season 4. It's going to be 8 episodes long.
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
Doesn't kill a bad thing, Tom.
And I can pinpoint exactly when that took over your brain. I don't think you weren't drinking, because you're not drinking at the minute, but I was talking. If I look through my phone, it was the last time I was talking to Gordon Rochford. I was talking to you about 10 minutes previous. I says, how's the Tom and Jerry Show going? Well, I says, there's a rocket after going up my bride's hole for podcasting at the minute. There's fucking content ideas coming out of this man everywhere. I have fucking hell, we've artwork on the way. Jesus Christ almighty, this is actually turning into a legit thing, something we didn't plan on. Nay, we probably didn't want it to be, because we're hipster in that sense, that we didn't want to stick our head above the parapet. But it looks like we got it now, because we're going to 8 fucking episodes, Jerry.
Success will ruin us, Tom.
This is what happened. They all bit off too much. They all flew too close to the fucking sun. And we'll end up falling out halfway through season or episode 8. And that'll be the end of it.
We're going to get to season 8 and it'll be a case of, fuck me, it's fierce mild out today, Icarus. But for the minute, we are buoyed by the wonderful people listening to the Tom and Jerry show, and the people who have liked and subscribed to the podcast and indeed followed us on the social medias. More on that later, but for now we want to say thank you very much for liking and subscribing, giving us your vote, giving us your good reviews on all your review sites, and sharing it with your pals. That warms the cockles of my heart, Tom, to see people going, hey, you know what, I'm listening to a podcast, why don't you listen to it as well? These guys, they're all right. That does me good.
It's a great sense of you are actually not just two blokes talking to each other in the darkness of the recesses of our properties. We're actually getting love back from people, especially some of the bonus episodes. And I like when people quote back some of the things that I totally forgot we said. That sometimes you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, did I say that? And they're going, it's gas that you said that. But oh, fucking hell. We don't edit shit. We could literally do this live. We don't edit shit because it's all high quality content, especially coming out of McBride. But people are loving the bonus episodes. They're really actually They're loving the bonus episodes.
We've had some wonderful guests. And if you're interested in who we have on this week's bonus episode, well, that makes 2 of us, Tom. Because I've forgotten. But between now and the end of the episode, I will remember, and you can tune in towards listening to the end of the episode, and we'll be letting you know who is on this week's bonus episode for telling us about their worst gig ever. I'm the worst gig ever bonus episodes, Tom. They're leaving me halfway between comforted and shock. Because it's comforted that other people are going through the same things that we ourselves went through, but I'm also, some of these stories that shake you to your core.
Jesus Christ. Well, the great thing too is that, you know, misery loves company, and that's the reality of it, is that if we were going, come on and give us some positive news, the truth be told is that people love, and there's nothing better than seeing somebody as successful as a politician, a high-end comedian, a good quality singer, a sports person, just saying there was a moment where they were just real. And the shit, in some cases, literally hit the fan. So, bonus episodes.
It's bonus episodes. It's wonderful. It's gold. But hey, let's not worry about bonus episodes, Tom. Let's talk about this week's episode. How are you doing this week, Paul?
I'm great. I'm in good form. I'm back building stuff, albeit not for anybody else, but for my own peace of mind. I'm building stuff and putting stuff together, and I've gotten good. I've gotten good at the things I wanted to get good at, i.e., cutting and fitting things together, and they don't jiggle around at the joint anymore. I've gotten there, Jerry.
Nice.
I'm not a joiner by any stretch, or a carpenter by any stretch of the imagination, but when I cut a thing to fit a space, there is no jiggle, and
that's nice.
No jiggle makes me very, very happy.
I got jiggle to spare.
Have you jiggled?
I got jiggle to go around.
All it is, Jerry, is like everything. It's just practice. You fuck it up enough times and you practice. Like
Tom, I'm 40 years of age. I think if I was going to get good at it, I'd have got good at it by now.
Hey, Henry Ford was a late bloomer. You know, the guy that created Ryanair. Ryan himself was a company man up until he was 42, and then all of a sudden took a figari, as they would say down here in Tipperary, and went fucking buck wild and became one of the greatest businessmen we ever had. Changed the aviation fucking landscape worldwide with his pricing and all the rest of it. So there's time, Jerry. There's time for you to get good with a tenant saw and a miter box that you too might be able to end up putting two pieces of Parker Traven together with beautiful 45s.
I'll settle for okay, but you know it's very funny, Tom. You know, this is that fucking Semenya circle of life shit, because as you're putting on Architrave this week, wouldn't you know, I'm stripping some off.
Are you?
I am, yes, indeed. The Architrave in my house has fucking snagged its last jumper. So it's time for that shit to go. So I was out with the little pry bar.
Yeah.
So as you know, I see a wonderful montage of Tom putting stuff together while I'm just ripping shit down.
Oh, listen, I had to do a bit of ripping apart first before I got to build all the pretty stuff that we're building now at the minute. And I have 3 pry bars. Because why the fuck would you only own 1 pry bar? For anybody wondering, some people call it a crowbar. It's not a crowbar.
It's not a crowbar.
It is kind of a nail bar. It's a bit of a flatter version, and it's for getting in behind those little beautiful. And it's one of the greatest. If you have 2 of them and you have a long piece of something I'm giving away DIY advice here, Jerry, and I probably shouldn't really, you know, because that's not what people tune in for. But just trust me, you'll be delighted you own two. Because you know when you get to crank open a thing and you can stick in the other one beside it, you feel like a fucking
then
alpine.
really go to town.
Feel like an alpine climber, and all of a sudden you hear that pop, and that thing is all.
It just goes with you, yeah.
So tell me, what's it fitted to the wall with? Please don't tell me some cunt put grip fill behind it.
It's the architrave is it honestly it's easy to come off because it's just pinned onto the frame of the door.
Oh grand.
So it's just popping off real nice.
Yeah. Grand.
Which is probably why it is coming off, because it really was just pinned to the door, not anything else. So it's all just like coming off like a toenail after a long run, Tom.
Which you have discussed about in the past. My fucking foot bags have yet to come. I don't know. They must be lost.
Your foot bags have yet to come.
Haven't arrived, and I'm very excited about it. I'm looking down at two hooves here, Jerry. I wouldn't even put them on the screen in front of you to disgust you. The two. I'm like Mr. Tumless from Narnia.
I got some before and after pictures of mown feet. I must actually put them on the Instagram with like NSFW warnings. Yeah.
Everybody's going to want to see it. Everybody I told just went, they pulled that exact face I did on the same night you told me about it. Go on, seriously. Go on, where did you get them? Oh God, I want to give them a go. So it's the gross, but you want to do it.
You want to see it, and it was amazing. It went from, did you ever see like? I'm fairly certain it was like a Looney Tunes cartoon where like there was a turtle that could come out of his shell and run around the place. That's what it was. Feet just went from being like the tortoise shell to like just this little fucking nudie green lad running around the place. Telling you, for no benefit, for nothing. I'm not like I'm not wearing high heels or shit around the place that I need nice wee soft feet.
I was going to say, what is the point? What's the point in soft feet? Like, you know, because I kind of prided myself for the longest time until you shamed me into these things that I'm quite tough feet and I could walk across rugged areas. But I mean, is there a point to having soft feet?
You know what, Tom? Do you know what's nice? It's nice to be able to take off your shoes and socks in one motion because your feet are offering no friction.
Your fucking sock doesn't catch fire halfway down your heel.
The sock just stays in the shoe and the whole thing just comes off real nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So there you go, Tom. I could fucking chat away to you about feet and architrave.
Find me two subjects in life that are more fucking interesting than feet and architrave. If you find me architrave-shaped feet or feet-shaped architrave, then we're off to the fucking races. But I've been spending a lot of time in the hardware store. They're all really rugged people in there. I found myself going back to my roots. And as per usual, there's probably the most rugged of the whole lot is a lady, extremely rugged woman. But we had an argument about hacksaw blades this morning. But
of course,
a joyous argument. We both took great pleasure from rowing over hacksaw blades. And it was these little moments, Jerry, that excited me. Do you know, I was thinking McBride would love to be a fucking trifecta row over fucking hacksaw blades.
Do you know what I'd love in a situation like that, Tom? For you and her to be like a half an hour deep into the row, and for me just to walk in out of nowhere and have no skin in the game whatsoever, but still be the deciding vote.
Yeah, but you probably would be, you see, because you'd speak with such authority on it, even though you're chief bullshitter in the situation. Like,
which is walk in, crack knuckles, and be like, "All right, lads, what are we having here today? What's the row? Let's get a look here now." Hey, you know what? Wonderful stuff, and that lady, I'm sure if she listens to this podcast, will never give you a peanut discount again, Tom. But don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, she was. Yeah, right up till you just uttered those words and made me realize
kicking discount out of the way these days.
She was actually doing me a solid on a lot of stuff of late, and I don't think that's going to be happening anytime future. But that's enough about what's gone on.
Well, you know what, Tom. If that does happen, then that might find its way into your list of grievances, and you might have to give out about that somewhere down the line. But not today, right? No, not today. But that doesn't mean to say that we don't have stuff to give out about today, Tom.
We always have stuff to give out about, Jerry. There's a bottomless pit. Santi's sack. Yeah, bottomless pit of things to give out about. And it's a stalwart. It's stuck with the show since the very beginning, and it's going fucking nowhere. It opens every single show, and Jerry's going to do it this week in a section that we call Giving Out Yards.
Hold on. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.
So,
how are you keeping, Tom?
I'm grand, but I want to know what's bending your biscuit this weather.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, Tom, like, every now and then we'll give out about things around here that, okay, it's a genuine worldwide grievance and there's a bit of weight to it. And every now and then we give out about things where it's just a little thing that's fucking us off.
Yeah.
And that's very much where this falls this week, Tom. This week I am going to be giving out yards about wee batteries.
Wish now. I.e.,
you with me, buddy?
Case in point, these little cunting things that keep on fucking running out. No,
Tom, what you're holding up there is a pair of AA batteries.
They're
okay,
not.
if my eyes
AAA's.
see me.
No,
AAA's, I beg your pardon. AAA batteries. Not a thing wrong with a AAA battery, Tom. Not a thing in the wide earthly world.
Okay.
Okay, it's a benchmark battery. It's never done us wrong. What I'm talking about, Tom, is the sudden appearance in everything of these tiny little fucking batteries that only ever made an appearance in watches or in calculators.
Oh, for fuck's sake. The round disky thing. Ah, for
the little disc things. Where the fuck did they ever come out of, all right? Tom, I'm 40 years of age, and for 37 of those years at least, the only batteries that went into things were, and I gotta tell you, Tom, I'm a battery fan. I like batteries.
Where are the big fat batteries gone, Jer? Or the square ones that you stick your tongue to?
Let me go battery by battery. This is my battery hall of fame here, Tom.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a little bit, you wouldn't think I'd like this, although you would absolutely think that I'd.
Absolutely. This wouldn't surprise anybody.
This is neither here nor there. No. You've got what you had was like a D battery that was about the size of a can of Lynx, right?
Yeah.
That's that big fucking D battery, and the only thing it ever went in was a flashlight that your father had from the 70s.
Or a ghetto blaster of sorts.
Or indeed a ghetto blaster. Radio Raheem famously wanted 20D batteries, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Now you step down from a D battery to a C battery. A C battery is slightly smaller than a D battery.
It is.
But it's still a big, hefty battery that would have went into a slightly smaller flashlight.
Odd enough thing to fucking get your hands on, because there's one or two teddies of the young fellas now, and they run on them, and they're fucking odd enough old things to get your hands on.
Funny you should mention that, Tom. We had, when the kids were very, very small, we had like a swing. Now I'm talking about when they're babies.
Oh, yes.
It was a swing that swung forward and back, and they took C batteries, and it was great to put the kids into. They'd fall straight asleep.
Same yoke.
Are you with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you step down from a C battery and you've got your tried and trusted AA battery, the AA battery that's in every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. 4 AA batteries in the back of a Game Boy to keep you right for 6 to 8 hours, okay?
Yeah.
You've got your AA batteries like you showed me there, Tom. They'll go into remote controls, smaller toys, things like this. Every now and then you'd get your 9-volt battery, Tom, that square thing with the 2 inviting prongs at the top that you put it into a fire alarm.
I always more respect for a fucking square battery. I don't know whether it was
square battery, just
vehicular clip or whatever. There's just something about it. I liked it.
I want to call that a 9-volt battery, and then I believe the 12-volt battery was the bigger square battery with the 2 ba-doing springs on the top.
Oh, very rare.
2 of it into an ever-ready red lamp. You know the ones.
I know the ones. And I'd say a collector's item now if you get your hands on it.
If you could lay your hands on them. Those are your domestic batteries. I've seen some other batteries in my time, Tom, that were odd as fuck. They were like odd-sized 9-volt batteries, only squared. They looked like little Roman candle fireworks.
Oh, you can get things like little mini versions. They're like a half of a AAA battery, and they go into like a car, you know, the squeezy yoke for your car, the fucking button for your car.
The fob for your car and all that kind of thing.
That's the word I could not say.
Because you know what it is? The fob for your car, you open it up, it's got this little squat AA battery called what have you. I don't know. It's not an everyday battery.
No,
but
it's like an A1 or something. But you can buy them at every petrol station going. They're not that hard to lay your hands on.
And then, Tom, for some reason, there has been. When I say for some reason, I can almost certainly tell you it's because of money. Where somebody just decided, okay, I'm not putting a fucking AA battery into that because I'll have to pay for it. I'm going to put in these little CR502 batteries, the size of a euro coin.
Oh, for fuck's sake, they've my head fucking done in them yokes. Thank fuck himself is nearly grown out of the kind of shit that they go into.
And they go into fucking everything. And again, this is you're saying exactly what I'm about to say, Tom. It's in kids' toys. It used to be that, and I don't know why you replaced AA batteries in a kid's toy with batteries that look like sweets. I genuinely don't know.
I can only imagine, Jared, there was a fucking stockpile of them sitting in some fucking German factory since the 80s.
Right.
And they didn't shift enough in watches. They went, hold on, the fuck, these yokes are working way too good. And hey lads, we need to push an agenda here. We need to push an agenda. I reckon what they are is the toy version of the fucking space saver fucking wheel that they started putting into cars.
Right.
Can't do more than 30k on them,
The
just to
little
get
donut
you.
wheel.
Yeah, just to get
That's
you.
exactly what they're. What they're saying is we need to, do you want to make a compartment to hold batteries? It's going to cost you half of a cent in plastic. No, make a compartment that'll hold a euro coin size battery. It'll cost you a quarter of a cent in plastic. This is the minutiae of money that we're saving.
Yeah.
And who gives a fuck? You give it to a kid and the battery runs out in 2 days. Hey, that's on the parents to find batteries to fit it. Which is all very well and good, Tom, on any given day. But if your kid's favourite teddy stops singing lullabies at 2 o'clock at night because it's run out of these little fucking CR batteries,
yeah,
you can't go downstairs and take the batteries out of the remote control to do you for the evening.
No, you're right. They're incompatible.
You're fucked.
I think your problem is that there's no compatibility throughout the house. And I'm at my fucking wit's end. Look at my wrists. You can see my wrists. Anything missing off my wrist that you would say a man may have on his fucking wrist?
Not a watch, nor is there the tan marks of a watch.
Because I should at the very least have a tan mark of my fucking G-Shock that I haven't been able to get a fucking battery in because I can't touch the thing because I'll break the seal on it. It's got to go to a jeweler. Fucking jewelers haven't been up for months. So just on a similar parapet to what you're talking about, the fucking little batteries are doing my tits in right now. I don't know why the fuck I can't send it off someplace or what, but just and coincidentally, like, it's those little batteries that are breaking my bollocks.
And 9 times out of 10, you go down to like a little hardware shop that you would normally go to, or you go to your local Spar or whatever it is, to their battery stand. And what do they have? AA's, AAA's, 9 volts, maybe C's, maybe D's, and that's it. You turn around and go like, I'm looking for a battery. It's not these sizes. It's like about the size of an old 20 pence, but maybe not as thick. And they're just going to go.
Child behind the counter is going, I have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
We don't fucking have that, pal. It's about the size and thickness of a pound coin sterling. Nothing. Because here's the thing, Tom. It would be one thing if it was, okay, down from the AA's you've got one smaller battery and it's the size of a disc, and there you go. But it can be the same size as a euro coin, but as thick as 2 or as thick as 1. And they're two different batteries, and one will not suit the other.
Yeah.
So you may look and eyeball it and say, I have that battery. You don't. You do not. And this used to be a thing, Tom. It used to be that if you wanted a flat battery like that, you needed it for a camera, or you needed it for maybe the fob of your alarm, like we spoke of. Something that was the only specialized things you needed a battery for. But now you need it for like 9 things in the house, and nowhere sells them. As best as I can find, Tom.
And it runs out like fuck.
Drains like fuck. There's another battery that I hate just as much as I'm talking about the little flat €1 coin batteries. I do hate them, but there's another battery I hate even more, and it's about the size of the rubber of the top of a pencil. The red bit of the rubber of a top of a pencil. You know the one I'm on about?
I know the one. Yeah.
All right, and it is the most useless, shitty little battery, and there's 10 different batteries all the same, to the point where if you go to buy them, you can't buy them in ones. What they'll give you is like a blister card.
I'm just thinking of it. I have one.
You know the one I'm on about?
Drawer, and I went, I will use one corner of it, and then I'll use the other corner, and the other 22
and the rest can be thrown in the fucking bin.
Fucked in the sea.
Fucked into the bin. Landfill is what you've just bought, Tom, on the Bear O'Mahony. For anybody that's not with it, it's a blister card of about 5 batteries causing 5 batteries down, 25 batteries, and there'll be 5 different types of batteries, but to the naked eye, all look the same.
Yeah, I burned through the first 2 that I needed, and that's it. And I will never ever use any of the fucking rest of the obscure bastard things that they are.
It's the battery equivalent of a box of roses. You're going to eat the hazelnut and caramel. You're going to eat the fudge, and then you've just got the fucking strawberry delights and orange cream sitting there.
Yeah,
like
all the rest
without a hole.
All the rest are all coffee cakes or whatever the fucking things are.
Throw them in the bin. Yeah. Whatever is your equivalent of a rose that you don't like.
I've left.
And I gotta tell you, Tom, there was one thing just broke me. All right, absolutely broke me to bits. Okay. And I understand that there's been changes and developments as time goes by, and most of them for safety. Okay, so nowadays you'll notice, Tom, that battery compartments, if you need to open a battery compartment or on a toy or on the back of it, there's like a little screw, a tiny little screw.
Tiniest screw in the world.
The tiniest screw in the world that if you happen to have a screwdriver to turn it, you put it into it and turn it and you just ring the head of it.
Yeah.
You know, vexing. Okay, but I appreciate that maybe there was kids eating batteries or whatever.
I won't lie. There's more than one toy downstairs right now that had a slab screw through the fucking back of it just to hold that little door on.
Just to hold that or snap it off and be done with. Okay. So my wee girl had a toy, and it was a toy microphone. Okay, and it was small to sit in a little girl's hand, and you couldn't sing into it and sing a song, but you could press a button on the side of it and it would sing a song to you.
Okay,
you understand? It wasn't a working microphone, Tom, but I can promise you as well, Tom, it was in better fucking nick than some of the microphones you and me have been handed in. All right,
not like getting the smell of old Holborn off a fucking mic. Smell of Marlboro Reds off the fucking mic when you get to it.
Yeah, and then you talk into it and you're the only person that can hear yourself. So this microphone was our favorite thing in the world, and you know if your kid has a favorite toy and it makes noise, you're going to hear it a fucking lot, okay? But you can't begrudge them to it because of the joy they're getting, even though it's like, god damn, if I hear that fucking thing one more time, I'm going to split down the middle. But the batteries inevitably went in it, but that was okay because the compartment of it on the side of it was long, and it looked to be about a AA or a AAA. Lovely. I wouldn't know till I opened it, but I knew I had a battery in it. So the thing died, and it was mad. It just sung slower and slower. It was like, home, scream, home.
There's some terrifying shit goes on with toys, all right? The slower they get. Yeah, it's like, the
slower they get.
Yeah.
It was a microphone from a TV show called Vampirina that the little girl never watched, but she loved the toy of it. And the song was home, scream, home. Because it's a little fucking cartoon vampire. It was like, home, scream, home. And then it slowed down. It was like, home, scream, home.
Oh, Jesus Christ. As a little girl sits in the corner and then all of a sudden she looks around, Daddy, my microphone. Yes. You're like, oh, Christ, right, burn the house down, we're moving. That's it.
We're out of here. Yeah, we fucking float too. So I'm like, don't worry about it, pet. That is kicking AA batteries out of his way. You know, if it's a AAA battery, we got them too. So I opened up the side compartment of it with my wee screwdriver, and I opened up a Tom. Do you fucking know what I found?
So it was a long compartment that was definitely going to be a AAA in your eyes. And what
definitely
was it?
Going to be a AAA. It was 6 little batteries stacked on top of each other. Now,
would it have taken a AAA though? Because the same fucking thing.
No, because it was just bespoke to six of these little farting batteries on top of each other, about half the length of a bookie's pencil, shall we say? And I was like, you motherfucking son of a bitch, because not only do I not have one of those batteries in the house, I defy anybody in existence right this now within the sound of my voice, if you have 6 of them fucking batteries spare in your house, I will give you €10 out of my pocket.
Because you know,
nobody even in the world has 6 of them fucking things spare.
Even if you had just one, you know you'd get another song out of it because you could slip it in the middle there and it'd be enough to carry the other.
Maybe it'd keep you going.
Yeah,
get the kid to bed. No. And here's a better thing, Tom. I challenge you to find anywhere that sells 6 of those batteries in one go.
Not a prayer.
Nowhere. You can buy them in packs of 2 for a fucking $5 a piece. And I'm like, kid, I love you to absolute bits, but I'm not spending €15 on batteries that I don't even know where I'm going to get them for you to get home, scream, home one more time. We're just going to quietly retire this time. I don't forget about it.
I don't think it'd be too ludicrous to suggest, and not all tinfoil hatty here, but could there be some sort of subsidy coming from you? Look at the big companies that make batteries. Everready, Daewoo, Mitsubishi make them. This is fucking Kodak that I'm looking at right now. You telling me that they don't give some sort of subsidy towards toy to manufacturers to go, hey. Cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. We don't need to be. It's like, listen, Toyota back in the day when they made the Land Cruiser, the original Land Cruiser, they used to make it to military grade because they thought that's what the man needed. The working man needed something that had a 25-year lifespan for most parts. The Land Cruisers up until, was it 99, I think, were made in a factory up the road from the usual Toyota. And then all of a sudden they spotted and they went, what the fuck are we doing making things that last? There's no after sales. There's no after sales. We're cutting. We're geese
We're
looking
losing money.
We're turkeys looking forward to Christmas. That's what we are here. I tell you what we do. We start building them with the fucking cars up the road. And by the way, those fucking Carinas lasting way too long. We need to clip their fucking wings. They're lasting way too fucking long. I heard Jerry McBride blew the fucking gearbox. It wasn't a Carina, it was a Corolla.
It was an Avensis, yeah.
An Avensis.
Yeah, I had a box full of neutrals.
But in the same way, a box full of neutrals. Thank you, John Murphy, for that great phrase. But it's the same thing. I guarantee you they got into bed and said, listen. We need to shift these little batteries. They're much more cost effective. They're fucking much cheaper to manufacture. And truth be told,
profit margins are through the roof.
We'll be able to sell each one of these. We'll break them down. We'll sell them each one of these. And I guarantee it's the same stuff, Ger. It's metal on the bottom, metal on the top, and a little metal up the side. That's all that's in them. It's the same shit as an actual full battery. But they go, listen, why would, like, there used to be a fella in Tip beside the church, and to youngsters, well, I mean, he shouldn't at all have been doing it. There's no question.
I know exactly what he did. Tom,
he'd break, you know what I'm saying? He'd break up a pack of 20 fags and he'd sell them singularly. And he would make, if a pack of fags at the time was £3, but he'd sell 20 fags at 30 pence a piece, he now doubles his money. Yeah, and everybody's happy. And he gives you a match as well, a little fucking match as well to spark up your fag.
A little starter kit.
Yeah, a little starter kit for your own fag. And he's doubled his fucking money because he just split up. It's like, you know, what was the movie Wall Street, you know, where they go in and they break up companies to sell them off in smaller parts. It's the exact same fucking thing. You have your 6 shitty little batteries to one AAA battery like I have right here. Who's fucking winning? I could buy those 2 batteries for fucking $3.99. You've got to give a $5 for 2 for yours.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And it's one of these times, Tom, where what I'm giving out about is the fact that we had a thing, it worked, and you've introduced a new thing to replace
for you,
and it does not work.
Remember, the consumer is not important. Shareholders are important, and they need to see an increase every fucking quarter, Ger. And that's all that matters to corporations.
They will see an increase of my foot up their hole, Tom.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, you're 100% right,
There you go.
I agree.
Little
100%.
batteries.
I agree 100%. We little batteries. You're 100% right. The grievance is mutual.
Actually, Tom, this isn't a segue to anything, okay? But we are going to get to the next segment of the show because I want to hear from you on this next segment of the show. But just when you talk about crossings in the country, I had a business in the country last week or the week before, and I got stopped with a country traffic jam, Tom. Which a country traffic jam is, as you know, a haircut.
Yeah.
All right. Not the first one I ever met. But the cattle were wearing necklaces, Tom.
Yeah.
What is that? That's new, right?
It's very new, and it's possibly they wouldn't need it everywhere. But what I would say you were seeing the necklaces was most likely not a fashion statement. Although, who am I to judge in today's society? I mean, they could be
leave
them at it. I would imagine they are tracking devices for cows.
You know, I thought as much.
But I think they hold a lot more info. You know, they not only hold her tag, you know, they tag their ears. I think they hold a lot of info about her. So she's her own little fucking external hard drive. From what I understand, farming has gone really high tech. As per, if anybody wants to go back and listen to the Hit the Diff episode, which is nearly 3 hours fucking long. It's as I understand it, and I need to watch because I really enjoyed a show called Ear to the Ground, which I messaged on I've been on TV, Jerry, but there's only one TV show I ever want to gig on, and it's Ear to the Ground. That's it. You know, I'm balls out gulchy, and I think I would do a decent job. I'd probably be the lightness to the rest of their quite seriousness, spud talk and whatnot. But I think it's kind of her external hard drive. I don't think it's just purely like the little yolks that they put on. I'm not saying she's fucking.
No, I get you. It's her external hard drive.
She's got all the fucking Handmaid's Tale and fucking all of, you know, all of fucking Line of Duty. She got her steps,
Tom.
But or it's her steps. That'd be amazing, actually. But I think it may possibly hold an awful lot more info because the young farmers of today have apps and shit now. That's just
And all this kind of crack, yeah.
Way beyond. And it's again, a technophobe, and you're a technophobe.
Yeah. I mean, someone
those
in
cows
our
are more high tech than you and I clearly are.
Some of these fucking ag science kids in our listenership will probably tell us exactly what it was. But for anybody just like wondering on what the fuck are the lads talking about now, which I suppose is the resting gear for this podcast, but in particular, what the fuck are the lads talking about now? It wasn't a necklace like fucking my heart will go on. Like, you know, it wasn't like.
No, it's a belt with a box on it. That's what
it's a belt with a box on it. Yeah, with a little orange box on it, and I was like, oh, look at that. Like, you know, I found myself with a phrase that I never thought I'd say. Haven't cows gotten very fancy?
Well, do you know what? I'm only fucking taking a stab at it here, Ger. So any of our
sounds about right.
Any of our bovine experts that listen, please get in contact and fill us in on exactly what that fucking thing is that cows are wearing nowadays. I haven't seen many of them around here.
Come up our way, I'll show you a few.
Yeah.
Anyway,
excuse me.
There you go. But you know, a topic like that, Tom, a topic like that, I enjoy talking about it. Yes, I know you enjoy talking about it as well, because that's just the kind of shit we like, Tom.
To be fair, nobody would be surprised at hearing us to talk about fucking the activities of bovine throughout the regions of Monaghan. They would
cattle and architrave people would be just like, Tom and Jerry, that's about par for the course.
Standard.
But on the flip side of that, Tom, there's a whole bunch of shit that we would like that people would not necessarily know.
This is it,
or indeed think we'd like.
Yeah.
You know, there's more to us than cows and skeleton, Tom.
And we've revealed ourselves over the last, in the previous series as well that had this section, but especially throughout season 5, we've revealed ourselves for a lot of things that people wouldn't guess, like we talked about earlier. Your scabby feet turning back into little, infant feet again, like something out of Deadpool. Yeah.
So, we drop all that fucking knowledge, Tom, in a segment called
You Wouldn't
Think We'd Like This.
Oh, we like goblins, bats, and fishes, but we hasn't tried hombres before.
No.
Yeah, we'll marry these segues up one way or another someday, Tom.
I don't want to. You're getting too Hollywood for me. You know what I mean?
This is you know what? Yeah, I know. I like my finesse levels to be roughly where my mortise and tenon joints are, which is okay, it works.
Exactly. Close enough.
I'm not trying to sell it. It's there.
Yeah. I'm not. I ain't pro at this game. I'm just making it fucking work, guys. You know what I mean? Fred Flintstone's car, it got there in the end.
It got there.
You know.
I still don't know how that thing steered, but regardless.
Oh, that really...
It didn't steer, Tom. It was just like 2 wheels on a single axle.
I guess, they had amazingly straight roads back then. They didn't have a lot to go around, Anyway,
he hit the diff is what he did. Tom, you're going to take this one this week. You're going to take this one this week, Tom. You're going to tell us something that we wouldn't have thought you would have liked.
Exactly. And I mean, again, trying to find it, but it's there. It's always there. I'm going to see, can you guess what I like that you wouldn't think I'd like?
All right, I'm going to need a couple of clues, buddy.
To be fair, for the most part, almost nobody would say they like this. And it's there. It's right fucking there. I bet it's outside your house right now. It's right fucking there.
The bailiffs?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Big fan of the bailiffs, says Tom. Fucking love
the sheriff.
Bailiffs, sheriffs, the lot.
It's no, it's not. It's not, and it's quintessentially Irish. If you're abroad, especially British people like to remind us of it, even though they have as much of it as we do. But for some reason or another, they remind us that it is something here. Makes the place very green, Ger.
All right, okay. I think I know where you're heading, Tom. I think, as The Rock might say, I think I smell what you're cooking, Tom.
Really?
Yeah.
You got it from.
Or I'm 100 fucking miles wrong.
Oh yeah, fair enough. That's absolutely possible. What do you reckon it is?
Is it slurry, Tom?
It's not slurry.
See where I was going when it makes the grass green.
I know. No, it's not slurry.
Because I got to be honest with you, Tom. That wouldn't have surprised me because I actually quite like slurry myself.
Listen,
can't drink more than a mug of it, but like. It's got a smell of home about it, doesn't it?
It does, and it signifies growth. That's what it does. They ain't putting it out there for the good of your fucking health. It signifies
That's where I
growth.
thought you were heading.
No.
Go on, okay, I could be here all night. What you got?
I put this very cryptic thing. It's hilarious to say that because I put this very cryptic thing to my wife earlier this evening, and she said slurry. She goes, I like it too, I'd say. I said, really? You like this thing? She's like, what, slurry? I went, well, you have become a country woman. You really have become a country woman. I said, no, it's not slurry. Rain, Jerry. I like it.
Rain.
I like rain. I like fucking rain. I really do.
What? Like the garbage song.
No, I fucking hate that song. But I like.
But the theory behind it is sound, as far as you're concerned. Tom, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I think I'm like a lot of people here that I am okay with the rain in fits and starts, but you seem to favor it.
I'll tell you why. I don't care for sun. I don't mind it. I don't really burn. I don't really get overheated. I don't really get too cold either. I'm kind of like a flask. Do you know what I mean? A thermos. I exist. It doesn't really bother me either way. But I'll tell you why I like the rain, Jer. You see, people crib and piss and moan about the rain. You say, "Well, you get wet." You go, I don't get fucking wet, Jerry. Because I don't know if you've ever noticed my fashion attire. It's what you'd call handy.
Weather resilient.
It's tactile. Do you know what I mean? I don't dress for fashion. I dress for the occasion I may end up in, and by that I mean it's not normally tuxedos I'm wearing. It's normally
bring a jacket.
Yeah, bring a jacket. I'm wearing the right kind of boots, right kind of socks, right kind of trousers. Right? There's no such thing as bad weather, just badly dressed people, Jerry. That's all it is.
I mean,
you're not going to argue with me on that one.
I'm not going to argue with that one, Tom. But at the same time, there are occasions where I would rather it did not rain.
I get you.
A couple of times if you got an event to go to, or like I'll put it to you like this. I know we're a non-pandemic podcast, but the zoo recently just opened up, and people are all about, well, I got my appointment to go to the zoo, and I got this, that, and the other, and I'm like, wonderful. You could be at the zoo, and it's fucking lashing out of the heavens. What good is that to you now?
Do you know what it is?
Fucking wet penguin.
Do you know what it is, Jer? Almost, and this is why I had to deeply think about it. I was like, why do I have a penchant for the rain? There's now, as you said, there's loads of times where I'm going, this is a pain in the fucking hole. This is too. I don't need this right now. But I tell you, in situations like the zoo, I would be up to the fucking zoo like a bullet.
Really?
Why? Because no other cunt would be there. Everybody else hates it. I'm that much of a fucking antagonistic cynic.
Get away from me here.
My brain wants to like the thing nobody else likes. I like the run to the litter. I like the little fighter. And rain to me gets such bad fucking press from people. It's always wet. It's always grey. So fucking what? Cozy up to it. You never know. It might be your fucking friend. And here's the thing. Without rain, we have forest fires. We have no agricultural industry, i.e. this country flips over and falls into the fucking sea if we have no rain. I like the rain because I feel like a fucking assassin in the chair because no other cunts around and I'm on a fucking mission when I'm in the rain. You don't dawdle in the rain. People are getting shit done if you got to be out in the rain. You
move with purpose in the rain, I will say.
Nobody's out. No cunts have their tops off, fucking drinking cans out in the rain. It's fucking beautiful. It just rinses the place clean of the filth of humanity. It just get the fuck back indoors, you weak people. Only the strong can survive in the rain, Jerry, and that's why.
I'm sorry. A hard taxi driver turn there in the middle of that time. Someday a real rain will come. We gotta get a sponsor around here, Thomas. Like someday a real rain will come and wash the scum off the streets. Until then, Karcher Power Washers.
I didn't expect it to go so deep either. It turned into a fucking Zack.
I got a Karcher sitting here beside me.
It sounded like the fucking opening to a Zack Schneider fucking movie or something. Holy sweet Jesus Christ! I know.
That's all right, Tom. I mean, like, and we'll take it that, okay, we all like the rain when we don't have to have a fucking garden fence to paint. Would you then turn around and say you like all rain? Because some people can get quite romantic about the rain, and I will admit, like, when it's lashing a proper thunderstorm, I like that. I'll go outside in a thunderstorm, Tom. Like, even just be like, okay, well, I'm not in my lie down clothes just yet. I'm still in my dirty clothes from the day, and you know what? I'm going to get wet, and I'm going to jump in the shower anyway. So just while this thunderstorm's on here at 7:00, I'm going to go out and have a wee look at it. It's lashing rain, and I like that. I do like that. But Tom, you can't fucking stand there in front of me in good conscience and say that you like that wee pissy rain.
Granted. All right, I'm going to let you have that one. I don't have much of an argument for that. Bring it. But I'm like that with everything, Jerry. When I smoke cigarettes, I smoked all the cigarettes. Do you know what I mean? When I go out on the beer, I want all the fucking pints. I don't want that wine tasting shit spitting it back out. I don't want that's why I stopped smoking.
That is what the light rain isn't it? Isn't it?
It's fucking menthol cigarettes with fucking, you know what I mean? It's just no hardness to it. It doesn't test you at all.
An Aperol spritz.
All it is it's just I hate watery humans. And that's I hate watery fucking dogs. I hate watery fucking building practices. I hate fucking watery cars. And I hate watery rain. I want that rain that batters the bollocks out of you. Do you know what I mean? That comes in so fucking hard, it washes your ears are spotless by the time you get home. That's the fucking rain I want. Fucking stuck to your face.
How do you feel then about hailstones?
Oh, bring them on. Yeah,
that's like the GBH of weather.
Yeah, I mean, that is the fucking God's Gatling gun right there. Do you know what I mean? Just mowing down fucking idiots. Oh, running everywhere. You're like, yeah, get in, you fucking. Just keeps you on your toes. Doesn't fuck up the place.
You know what, Tom? I've seen people stride through rain like, fuck it, it's only a bit of rain. Like, lashing rain, fuck it, it's only a bit of rain. And I'll be with you on that one. I feel that's where you're heading. But even those self-same people run when there's hailstones.
No, I won't run for hailstones.
You stand in the hailstones, getting pelted in the face.
I won't fucking.
Fucking rocks of water.
Yeah, it's those moments where you just want to fucking see if you still got it. You know what I mean? You just want to don't want to melt into a fucking pudding of life. You just want to turn around every so often and go, come on, God, what have you fucking got? You're going to throw rocks of water at me? Bring it. Every so often, I just want to test myself against the big guy. You know what I mean? And sometimes, if he wants to throw that shit at me, fucking bring it. I'm like fucking Lieutenant Dance on top of that fucking crow's nest, screaming at fucking God up on fucking Bubba Gump's boat. With fucking what forest that time. Sometimes you just, wake up with a whole fucking boatload of shrimp, Jer.
I mean, like it's a compelling argument, Tom. Like, and I'm trying to stay, I'm listening to you here, wondering if it does indeed fall into the category of wouldn't think I like this, because I think people would be, more taken aback if you turn around and go, hey, Jerry, you know what I like? A balmy 22 degrees. I wouldn't have thought you like that. But this notion that Tom likes striding around in the piss and rain is actually a fairly accurate picture of what you've painted of yourself over the last couple of years. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I thought I was going to spring a surprise on you there. Given the fact that I talked about interior design.
Why I'm taken aback by your love for rain is because rain stops play, Tom. Well, the more I listen, the more that doesn't seem to be true, but rain stops play, rain stops construction, it stops building work. You can't put a roof on in the rain. You can't paint in the rain. And I know we said we fucking hated painting, Tom. You can't put up a paling post in the rain. Which sounds to me that yes, you absolutely can do all these fucking things. You're just going to get wetter than Jack Dawson's Mickey.
I guess on a professional terms, if I was a professional builder, rain would give me a pain in my fucking stones. But I think for a lot of people, they call it a bit too early sometimes. Nobody's made of fucking sugar. Sometimes you can just put up your fucking shoulders, you fucking fanny. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My mother used to say that you're not made of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. And what Mammy always knows. So.
Yeah, but at the same time, she wouldn't let us kick ball outside when it was lashing rain. She had the sense to take us in because she knew we would get sniffles and cold. Well, it sounds to me like what you're describing there is like, a bit of a Spartan test for a child.
Here's the thing, Jared. Do you want to know the last time?
He drowns.
Do you want to know what the last time? Yeah, well, look, if we had wolves here, I'd be sending my out with a fucking, a Boeing knife to bring me back one. That's all I'm saying. We're creating fucking warriors around here. I'm not interested. The next wave is going to be the next thing that brings down fucking society. And you might have to want to create a fucking little child soldier. That's all I'm saying. And I haven't had a sniffle in fucking 15 years.
Really?
Never. I never get sick. I swear in my life, I never get sick. I've been with the wife.
You say you never get sick. What if you just have like a base level sickness throughout because you're always out in the fucking lash and rain?
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm rotten.
You're there like I've never sick. What if you've been constantly unwell?
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm fucking rotten to the core and I'll be dead in my fucking by 42. Who knows? You might be right. But I didn't fanny around with any fucking medicine in between all that. Because probably I was pushed out in the rain as a child. Just saying.
I will say this, Tom, okay? I do not have the love for rain that you have. I don't mind it and I like it just fine. If I have to go somewhere or be something, and particularly, Tom, if I have to sit somewhere, I don't like it. Like if I have to go to get the bus to go to somewhere and it lashes rain and I'm going to be on the bus wet with my fucking wet arse growing piles on the seat of the bus. I don't like that. But then again, that's just I don't like discomfort. I don't like, being
Did you
wet.
leave the house knowing to piss and ranger and knowing you were going to have to get...
I got caught. I got caught.
All right.
If I go out and get caught, I don't like that. But you know what I will not do, Tom? And I think I'm on your side in this one. No matter how much I dislike being uncomfortable, being wet, No matter how much I don't like any of that, I will not put up an umbrella, Tom.
Good man. Good man. Good man. We were at a family funeral recently, and the amount of people passing around umbrellas, and it was just. And what was amazing was, almost all my uncles, all my relations that kind of look a bit like me, they were all passing on the umbrellas too, and it was teeming out of the heavens. It was like, well, I got collar on my coat. I can pull that up, can't I?
Yeah.
The fuck am I doing with that fucking thing?
I can. And maybe at a family funeral, if you wanted to keep your suit clean or whatever like that, okay. But no. And like to the point where I'll be walking with my wife and she'll have an umbrella and she'll be like, "Do you want to get under this?" And I'll be like, "Nah."
Yeah.
No.
I get it.
And it's like, number one, I keep thinking umbrellas are going to gouge my eye out.
Yep.
So there's that. But there's this notion of a portable roof that just seems foolish to me.
Well, my big problem is the unknowing, and I hate not being able to visualize all things at an elevation, because I at all times imagine that there's a sniper tracing on me, Jerry, and if I can't keep an eye on where that cunt is, what fucking hope do I have? How am I supposed to raise a child with that kind of a fucking attitude? Just to put on blinkers like a fucking horse altogether and just walk into the sea and hope for the best? Do you know?
I mean, like if you had your umbrella up, Tom, and then you put your umbrella down, there could have been an eagle hovering over you at all times, ready to snatch up into the fucking sky.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. Which brings me back to the point that I still want to know if eagles actually have ears. So
let us know in the comments.
That got weirdly intense. And I like
there you go.
I like how weird that got. That got beautifully weird. And that, I think, should be the theme going forward. Next couple of these we do, see how intense we can make our love for that situation.
So there you go, Tom. From knife fights in the rain with your nemesis to tear-soaked kisses farewell. The rain, a fucking wonderful element.
Thank you so much. That's beautifully put, by the way. Beautifully. So that's me. You wouldn't think I'd like this, and there you go. Now you know. And Jerry just capped it off nicely. Oh, that was nice.
Rain, Tom. There you go. And like all I'm going to say, Tom, rain appears to be one of our favorite liquids. But you know what other liquid we quite like every now and then?
Oh yeah, I do actually. I mean, I briefly spoke about it in the middle of my rant there, but I do.
We like alcoholic liquid.
Ishkabaha, as you would say.
Indeed.
Ishkabaha.
Yeah, absolutely. I could on any given day go for a pint, Tom. That's my problem. But I gotta tell you, Tom, you and I, we've been known to clink a glass every now and then.
Yeah.
And by and large, we keep it nice and civil.
Only as a result of knowing what pushing it too far is. Like race car drivers, every so often they'll take it out. You'll ditch it every so often, and you'll learn from those mistakes. But there's nothing better than telling people about that day you fucking ditched it, because
absolutely, you know what it is, Tom. There's a demon that lives at Mach 1, and every now and then we like to talk about him in a segment that we call the drunkest I've ever been.
I'm afraid that I was very, very drunk.
I have.
Is it you or me this week?
It's you this week. Yeah, I have proselytized. Is that a word? To proselytize? I don't know. I've exposed myself anyway.
There you go.
I
get the word
past goings on.
Yeah, I've let fly a couple of times as well, Tom, and I think this one is like for all of them, I think this could actually be the drunkest I've ever been.
Oh, great! So it's actually true to the title of the segment. The great.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. Whereas in other instances, I might have gotten myself in some wilder shit. I think this is like as soaked in alcohol as I've ever been.
Fucked up. You'd got that fucked up. Okay. I'm pulling up a stool, sparking a stogie.
This is classic. This is golden era drinking for me, Tom. And I don't know if anybody else back there will have their golden era of drinking.
Oh,
it's rarely in their late 30s. I'll tell you that much. If it's
in your late 30s, Jar, you need to be fucking asking yourself some questions.
You need to check a couple of things.
You could check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself, Jar.
The golden age of drinking for me was early to mid 2000s, when I was like just in my early 20s, because that's when I had fallen in with a bunch of pals from college. Like they were, in my mind, they're like my core drinking buddies, and I haven't drank with them as that group for a very, very long time. And who knows if we'll ever all be together in the same place again. Just that core group of people that were all college buddies, and we all sort of came together as one. Like they're like my Rambo's photo of
I'm
people.
with you. I'm with you. Yeah, we
they're
all
like, hey, you want to see this guy here? He could do this, and this other guy here. That was the time we were like that was like my core group of 6 hardcore drinking buddies, and we went to college together. So we went to all
This
the
was
balls
this is your Rainbow Six. This was your
This is my SEAL Team 6.
SEAL Team 6. Yeah,
this is my boys. Okay, and because we were young men, we had the bravado of not caring. We had the tolerance to carry us.
That's the big one. That's the big one.
We had perhaps not enough sense to know when we should stop, nor indeed did we think that stopping was a thing we should do, because fuck it, we're young, who cares?
Sounds like you're singing the absolute adverse version of the Kenny Rogers classic, The Gambler. You did not know when to hold them. You
we didn't
also
care.
did not know when to fold them.
It wasn't an issue.
Had no notion when to walk away.
It didn't occur to us.
That's fucking poetry, lads. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking a clip. I'm taking that fucking clip, and that's going out. That's fucking beautiful.
So, and Tom, I'm sure you've been there, and maybe it was in your 20s when you were at school, or maybe it was rugby buddies, or maybe it was whoever it was. But this was the core group of buddies, and the one thing we all did together, Tom.
Go on.
The one thing that we all did together that we'll never do again. We all turned 21.
Class.
So we all had 21st birthdays. And there were some were better than others, and some were better cracked than others, and some, you got drunk and had a row, and others, got drunk and had great crack. Whatever it was always 21st.
Yeah.
And it is at one of these 21st, Tom, that I've gotten the drunkest I've ever.
Oh, lovely. Set the scene.
So to set the scene, like, a 21st birthday party, I don't know how they are these days, okay? They seem to be very... Hey, I can't finish that sentence, Tom. It just occurred to me that I wouldn't know fucking what a 21st birthday looks like. Anybody in my circle, the youngest they are is when they turn 30. Like, there's nobody younger than that I have to consider.
Even the people I would consider young pups in my head are ready to get married now. You know what I mean? They're, Jesus Christ,
their kids might be turning 20.
Fuck, I'm old. I don't even know any 21-year-olds.
So, but back in the day, I'll tell you what it was. Pre 9/11, I'll tell you what it was, all right? It was a house party, followed by going into town. That's the way we did it, Tom. Okay, 9 times out of 10, you'd have a house party in the house, and the 21st person. No function
room. They're typically girls do it that way, don't they?
I was at a couple in function rooms, Tom. Don't get me wrong. I was at a couple in
girls
function rooms.
Girls tend to make a bigger deal of it. Yeah.
But with my group of lads, generally these all took place in the house. It would be a house party with an abundance of drink, and the parents would be in the house, because where the fuck else were they going to do? They weren't going to move. I know these days everybody's like, oh well, we'll get a hotel and leave the kids themselves. Not the way in the country pre 9/11, Tom. It was just a case of, right, okay, everybody's in the house. And here's the thing, and my parents did the same thing when I turned 21. It was like, make sure everyone has drink.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it went from parents discouraging drink to parents kind of making sure everyone had drinks so that nobody looked poorly upon the family, kind of thing. So it was a curious mutation of your mum making sure you had a cup of tea when you'll have a cup of tea before you go. But you'll have a mug of whiskey before you
roll
go.
One into the other. It's awake. It's anything. Are you fed? Are you watered? That's all they care about.
Are you fed?
Yeah.
So with young lads be like, oh, I think he's running out of bottles there. That bottle is empty. Get him another bottle. And like us as young lads going like, gladly.
Table service and all. The McBrides. Hello.
With maybe a couple of pizzas and fucking cocktail sausages and all this kind of thing. It wasn't like a catered event like you'd get these days. And then you'd get a slice of cake, which was 21st cake, which you didn't want because you were full of drink, and the cake on top of it would kind of sicken you a wee bit, you know what I mean? But then you'd power through with drink. And then it was into town for more drinking, and then on we go. You with me so far?
I'm with you so far. What time are you kicking off the party?
Familiar?
What time are you kicking off the party? Honestly, I was so deep into drinking by my 21st, Jerry. It was
a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. It really was. It was like I met my brother-in-law I was living in Cork at the time. Met my brother-in-law, my sister, and I'll never forget. I knew I was not to have a celebration when they bought me 21 scratch cards. As one of the presents was 21 scratch cards, and you're supposed to win every 6.75 times.
Right.
Which would say I should at least win 3.
Right.
Not 1 in the full row. And I went, all right, I think we'll just have a.
I think
we'll just have some pints, will we? And just
is how life is, lads.
We'll just keep it. And it was kind of a seminal moment in my life, really. I grew up very quickly, and by the time I got to that 21st scratch card, Jerry, I went, oh. So just like Dennis Leary told us, life is shit. Put on your fucking helmet and just get used to it. So anyway, tell us all about your happy celebration there, Jerry.
So I went round to my pal's house, and again, another element of this was it was earlier drinking, because I remember I said in previous podcasts, Tom, that like, you kind of, I got to learn my tolerance to drink, but that was based on starting at 9:30 and finishing at 2:30. That was like your drinking hours.
Yeah.
But with a 21st, you add a couple of hours to that, Tom.
Of course.
Because you're in the house beforehand, and beer is flowing like wine, as Homer Simpson once said. Went around the house. Okay, and there's loads of lads, and we haven't seen them because it's college and one thing and another, and we haven't seen them for a little while, and the crack is good. And here's the thing, Tom. I'm drunk before I leave that house.
Of
because
course.
I'm sipping bottles, and you're sitting around, and you're sitting on the edge of armchairs and all this kind of thing, and you're having
family
the crack.
Pours. Family pours.
And it's family pours, and you're drunk. I remember before I left the house, I was convinced there was a tornado in a bottle of Miller.
Stop the fucking lights now. Go on. What?
There was I had a bottle of Miller, and I was looking at it, and in the middle of it there was like a little whirlwind, like a little cyclone. And I was like, and I sort of went around a couple of people. I goes, do you see a tornado in this? Is it like a crack in the glass or something that's causing that sort of widget effect? You know the widget at the bottom of a pint glass, the etching at the bottom of a pint glass, that causes bubbles to come up. It was like that, only it was in the side of the bottle.
This doesn't sound like alcohol induced, Jared. This sounds like you were fucking smoking the old fucking devil's cabbage now. Yeah.
Oh no, this was alcohol induced, and I said it to like 6 or 8 people, and everyone was getting great sport out of me because I was the drunkest in the place, and this was only proving it.
I haven't clarified, because we were just talking as an example that I was in your parents' house. Was this actually your 21st? Your 21st?
No, this is a friend of mine's 21st.
Right.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I thought I said that. It's a pal of mine's 21st, and we'd been to a couple of them at this stage, and this was just the one that fucking broke me.
Okay.
All right. So I was there convinced that there was a tornado in my bottle of Miller, and people had said it to me several times, and it didn't register that there's a cocktail sausage stick in your bottle of Miller. And the bubbles had formed around it, if you will.
That is the kind of shit you should be coming out with at 2:30, Jerry.
Okay. So, like, if you have a bottle of beer at home and you're listening to this, bottle of Miller, clear, you'll need it clear to see it. Can't see it in a bottle of Kirsch. And you drop a little cocktail sausage stick into it. The bubbles will cling around it, and it will look like a little fucking tornado. And I was like, God damn, this is holy fuck, okay?
Safety disclaimer there. Don't anybody actually do that. Just take Jerry at his word. Because we won't. Jerry doesn't want to be sued for people sticking fucking cocktail sausages to the back. Or go, give it a fucking go.
Go nuts. We're not your fucking parents. Go on. It must be stressed that it wasn't my cocktail sausage stick that was in the bottle. Someone had dropped it in as a joke, and they got great sport out of it. Because for the next hour, I was like Columbo going, I need everybody to look at this bottle. There's a tornado in it.
And just one more thing.
Just one more thing. A cyclone in my cores. So I'm drunk leaving the house at 9:30 when the minibus comes to pick us up and take us into town. And God damn it, 20 years ago, Tom, was there a limit on the amount of people you could put in a minibus? I say no, there was not.
Absolutely.
These days, it's like, will we get 2 7-seaters for the 10 of us? And like, we didn't have these issues back in the day.
That's a fucking
40 drunk cultures in a 7-seater, like, piled into it, bodies everywhere, legs akimbo, drinking, farting, the whole lot. Get us into town. Got into town, /drunk, okay? I don't remember much of the next couple of hours because I was like wasted drunk until I got to the nightclub. We went into a pub, I'm assuming, and then we ended up in the nightclub. That was the natural order of things. You go to pub, nightclub, boom.
Were you on to pints, or what were you drinking now at this stage in the pub?
Fuck knows. Don't know. Haven't a clue. But I do know what I was drinking. I do know what I was drinking in the nightclub. That much I do remember, because that's where I got very fucking clever. We got into the nightclub and I goes, right, lads, we'll hit the Sambuca, right?
Oh, lovely. Straight into it. Oh, lovely.
Straight into the Sambuca, and we wouldn't light the Sambuca because that was needless fucking around. We just would fucking fire it into ourselves.
Oh,
right?
yeah. We burned off alcohol.
Okay. And me and 2 lads peeled off, and I goes, okay, here's what we'll do. I goes, I get you around a drink. And there was a big, huge fucking queue at the nightclub, as there was back in the day, okay? These days you can spit peas through the crowd, but back in the day, You packed a nightclub. So I went up and I goes, there's 3 of us, I get us 3 sambucas. And then another guy goes, no, hold on, I'll get a round in as well, and it'll save me coming back. And the other fella goes, well, okay, I'll get a round in, it'll save me coming back. And I goes, well, fuck you, then, like, you know, then it'll come back around to me. So in the end, we left with like 5 shots of sambuca each. That was apparently rounds for us all, but it actually, when you look at it, we just had bought ourselves 5 sambucas. That was just how it was going to be. And
Jesus Christ.
I said, look, I'm fairly fucking drunk here, right?
Yeah.
This is drunk. This is when I coined the phrase drunk smart. This is when you're fucking drunk, but something just seems clever enough to work.
Yep. Yep.
You've been there. You would, a sober person would never come up with
you're virtually tapping the side of your head going, you're all stupid. And I basically like Homer. You've turned into Homer, basically.
This is stupid, okay? So we're holding, like, we've got the claws of the drinks with us. So we're like, you know, a couple of things were at play here, Tom. Number one, how would you drink 1 drink when your claws are holding 5?
I get you.
Are you with me? So you can't put them down anywhere. So I goes, number one, we need somewhere to put them down. This place was elbow room only, okay?
You mean they didn't do tray service?
No, this is back in the day. You were lucky to get a glass.
I
wasn't just fucked over the bar.
I didn't see a tray until I was like 22.
Yeah, you're like Bane.
Yeah.
You were born in a bar, but I was molded by it. I didn't see table service till I was a man. You merely adopted the pints.
That's another quotable reference. I guarantee that'll be quoted back to us. Brilliant.
I came up with this plan. I said, lads, we're almost certainly going to get sick from drinking this. Because this is back in the day when you would drink until you got sick, Tom. That's another thing that I haven't really done in the last 10 years, okay?
Yeah.
I've drunk and later on in the night kind of felt sick about it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was like you drank and you got sick. That was just like
par for the course.
Left foot following the right.
Yep.
So I goes, these could be the ones that'll fucking sink us and make us sick. And I don't want to get sick in the middle of the fucking nightclub. So I said, lads, here's what we'll do. Let's go down to the toilets and drink these drinks.
You bring the mountain of Muhammad.
You bring the fucking mountain. You don't need to climb the mountain, Tom. You just, yeah. Whatever that saying is, right? So we were down to the fucking toilets. I was like, this is the smartest thing I've ever done, because you can go down and, like, you know, the jacks was massive and there was like the sinks and all that. So we basically, instead of standing at the bar, we stood at the sinks down at the jacks and down 5 sambucas a piece, just in case we got sick, which we did, and we held it in for now, Tom.
Oh, Jesus.
And back up and went fucking buck wild the Cotton Eye Joe. And I'm told, I got in a row with a lad. I don't remember it.
That
I know I didn't like him.
That would definitely happen.
I'd say, yeah. I goes, how did it fare? And, like, you know, did I deck him? Did I hurt him? Did I do anything like that? And he goes, no, it was like a fucking handbags affair, shoving on the dance floor.
Of course.
Like, what did you think you did? Like, what do you think you did? Fucking smash his nose up into his brain. Come on.
You went full Swayze and just fucking ripped his throat out.
It was a shoving match. Come on.
Roadhouse.
So that's all very well and good. I'm gone drunk here now. Forget about it, right? I do remember this one. I do remember this happening. I went out and everybody was like, this was the thing, okay? It's night, we're wrapped up, we're gone. And everybody's going back to the 21st bar at the house because there's going to be drinking to the wee hours and everybody's going to stay up and fucking fall where you lay, right?
Lovely.
But everybody had the same thing to say. McBride can't come with us, he has to go home. Terrible sorry to miss you, okay? But you're fucked, kid. Okay.
I hate that.
And I'm like, you know, the drunken equivalent of it's only a flesh wound, I can go on. And they're like, no, we gotta bench you, kid. You're done.
Yeah.
So you gotta get a taxi. So I was like, taxi? Well, what about this taxi over here? And I rapped on the window of a car and I was like, are you driving out to my house? And it was a lady and she goes, no, I'm not a taxi, dipshit. Like, I'm just a car.
I love the notion that actually a car spoke to you.
You know, I'm just a woman in a car. Fuck off. I goes, okay. And then she closed her door, but she closed her door on me jacket.
Oh, no.
So she pulls off, and I go fucking peeling up the road after her. But to her, what it looks like is a drunk, angry man that's trying to smash her away. Because I'm like, hey, stop. And she's like, I already told you I'm not giving you a lift out the road. And I was like, no, stop. So you can see how that would cause alarm. And all she wanted to do was like run away quicker. And I'm here running fucking sideways up the road. And all the lads are running after going, he's caught. Whoa. And I opened the door and I fell out onto the road. And I goes, "You caught me jacket," and she fucked off like in pure form. And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, chalk that down to nightmares for the rest of my life." And so it
Wow,
is, right?
that could have gone
So bad,
so
right?
fucking
So this
wrong.
is like, get killed.
Jesus.
This is fucking get killed drunk, okay? So the lad said, "Look, we can't get McBride a taxi, and even if we could, we couldn't possibly put him in it. Let's take him back to the house and show we look after him."
Like
Tom, it's a poor night.
weekend at Bernie's. They're
It's
bringing
a
the dead guy around with them.
Fucking poor night drinking when you're the one that has to be looked after. All right.
Oh no,
You know,
no.
and it wasn't the first time that they had to do this for me. I remember one time they had to do it for me out in the dock when we went drinking. Whereas, like, I was told, I don't remember, but I was told that it was the most miraculous thing anybody ever seen in their life. When I was out in the dock this other time drinking, I was walking along, hands in pocket, stone drunk, just stopped, and just at a fucking smooth criminal fall, splat onto the ground, onto me face. The first thing that hit the ground was me face, just like bang,
Wow.
flat face plant into the ground like you'd see on TV. And the next day, there wasn't a mark on me. There wasn't a bruise. Even the lads were like, "Was that McBride that fell, or was it someone else?" No, it was him. I remember picking him up. But there's not a mark on him. And I was like, holy shit, this is some fucking drunken Wolverine shit that you can
Jesus.
headbutt the ground and be grand. Okay?
Adamantium as a result of fucking Miller.
Yeah. But in this instance, they were like, "Okay, take him with you, but look after him," right?
Yeah.
So we all got back into the 40-seater minibus to go back out to the house for the 21st ones. But we had one other stop to do. We had to stop at some other guy's house, which was on the way out. That was the wonderful thing. I always loved that when I went drinking in town, Tom. I'd always be like the last man out of town. You'd have the crack and, like, you'd be trying to do a bit of curtain and one thing and another. You'd have the crack, all this kind of thing, and you'd be on the last taxi out of town. Whereby previous taxis would have went, okay, all the lads for Kingscourt in this taxi, and all the lads for Cullerville in this taxi, and all the lads for Blaney in this taxi, one thing and another. And then the last taxi out of town at 4 o'clock in the morning would be, all right, who's left? One fucker from Ballybay, one lad going out by Clonus, another lad going out, and it would be this big fucking 2-hour trip around the houses. That was always great crack to me. I always had great crack.
It was the pick and mix bus, basically.
It was the pick and mix bus, and everybody was drunk, and it was all young lads. But this in this instance, we had 40 lads for one house and 2 lads for another house along the way. And they stopped at that house, Tom. And I thought that was the 21st house. So I got out. Okay, countryside, Tom, 4 o'clock in the morning, okay, in a February, absolute pitch dark. The 2 lads go into their house, and I'm like, "He's not getting off the bus." And the bus has driven up the road.
Oh my God. And
All
this,
right.
for people wondering, this isn't like, there'll be another taxi on in a minute.
No,
there are
this
no
is-
streetlights
there's
where
nothing.
McBride is. There's nothing.
There is scarce starlight.
Wow. That's a fucking, that's
Now,
a fucker of a situation.
In the bus, the lads have said to themselves, I was later told, "Hang on, Jerry's not here. Oh, fuck, he got back at the last house." And then the taxi driver and came back to pick me up. In the meantime, Tom, I had been wandering around outside the house of the other lads.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Which was mortifying enough, Tom. And it is the smoothest way you'd ever get your fucking ass shotgunned to death.
Yeah.
In the country, to be milling outside someone's house at 4 o'clock in the morning.
People are thinking right now, oh, what's all about? They genuinely shot dead.
Shot dead. And not metaphorically shot dead. Not shot dead with insults. Shot dead. Dead. Graveyard dead.
He's going to totally kill me. No, he's actually going to get killed.
He's actually going to get killed.
I'm seeing all the dangers here. And the stupid, like, number one, it wasn't actually getting your call caught in the fucking car that I was thinking about. I was thinking about this Me Too moment where that woman, if you didn't get to explain your case, you did look like a guy who was trying to hunt a woman down in her fucking car, and she drove straight,
bang the race.
straight to the fucking guard station. Before you know it, they'd come to you for a fucking answer, and you can't give one. You're like, hey,
Because I can't talk.
well, fuck, it's fucking woman. And they go, put him in the fucking cuffs. Before you know it, you're in the High Court the following morning. And now you're in a fucking situation where
Now
you
I can't
could
fly to America.
ever again. And you're going, I'm sorry. I didn't. And here you are now outside somebody's house where you could definitely get killed.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
And drunk and incoherent as well, Tom. Don't forget that, right? So these are dangers that you can see now, Tom. Here's a danger that you can't see. This is a danger I certainly didn't see. That this house at the time had, at this particular time, been undergoing some renovation.
Oh, no.
and had to the right of the pass, all the way going up the pass to the house, had dug quite a deep foundation.
Oh, fuck. Don't tell me they put the steel in as well at this stage, no?
They didn't. That's why I'm still talking to you here.
Oh, fuck. Sorry for coughing.
That's the reason I'm talking to you here now. But what there was a long, thin hole. You've seen foundations, Tom. I'm sure you've been in some. For anybody that hasn't been in a foundation, it's about the width of your shoulders. It's about as deep as it wants to be, and it's long. It goes all the way down the road, as this one was. It was a foundation for a wall. And I healed over.
You mean there was no safety tape or barriers or flashing beacons?
There could have been. There could have been. It was absolutely fucking pitch dark at night, and I could not see regardless. It could have been
the shock to
balmy
the
22 degrees, Tom, like we said about earlier, and I still wouldn't have fucking seen this. I healed straight into it, and the minute I hit the horizontal, I fell asleep.
What? Oh, you got knocked out?
I got knocked out.
No, you got knocked out.
I just got the horizontal and went, huh.
No, you got knocked out. That was simple as that. Now, you are more susceptible to getting knocked out when you are absolutely fucking locked, but you definitely got knocked out. For sure. The impact for sure knocked you out. Oh my fucking God, this is horrible.
I am in a foundation.
I just have pictures of a fucking truck backing up in the morning with a fucking full fucking 7 or 8 meters of concrete ready to go. And McBride's. Oh my God!
It was a Saturday night. He wouldn't be working on a Sunday.
You never know. It could be a hungry. He might have been building that wall without planning permission, i.e., fucking get it done on a Sunday. But my heart is fucking jumping here out of my chest because I'm seeing so much danger.
Rest of this I had to be told, Tom, because I don't remember it, and it wasn't like I fucking quantum leaped over into the minibus and I could hear what they were talking about. But the lads told me later on that they told the bus driver that they didn't have McBride in the bus. He reversed back and they got out of the house to go looking for him. Could not find me anywhere. And everybody's here going turn on the light on your phone and find him. There was no lights on phones, Tom.
Nope.
There was nothing. Nope. There was nothing. The minibus driver angled the bus around so he shone the headlights in at the house to see where I was. And I was nowhere to be fucking seen. But
how many feet down? How many feet down was the trench?
Well, this is what I'm about to tell you, Tom. They started shouting for me, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. And I woke up. And all I could see was kind of sort of the light of the thing, because I was lying in what, Tom, was for all intents and purposes a grave.
Yeah, that's some scary warped shit. That'd almost put a man off the drink if you weren't so young.
With fucking cold grey, stony grey soil all around me.
Monaghan, as the famous poem would tell.
And hear the boys shouting, Jerry, where are you? And all I could say, Tom, is, I'm in the ground.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. That is next level horror. People, I don't know if you're grasping the fucking the levity of this. That is fucking horrible. Horrible.
Somebody found me, Tom, and they got me into the bus, and they sat me down covered in shite.
I was just going to say covered to your fucking shite.
Covered in shite.
A trench in February would be nothing but schlop in the bottom of it.
Oh, and the only reason it didn't have schlop in the bottom of it is that I brought the most of it with me. They got me into the bus. The bus driver took pity. He goes, he can't go into that house with you lads. He goes, no, we can't. So he took me home. He dropped the 40 lads out at the house and drove me back home to my home place, where he rapped on the door and got my mum and dad out of bed to come out and get me. And they weren't there. It wasn't like they were going, fuck, Jared's not home yet, because I was staying in the other house. You know what I mean? I wasn't scheduled to come home. So they got the knock at 4:00 in the morning, thinking maybe it was the guards to say there's been an accident. Got the knock, and it's the taxi driver, and they came out and fucking hauled me arm under each oxter, got me in, stripped me down, put me in bed. And that is the drunkest I've ever been.
Oh, fucking hell. Fuck that all the way off. That would put him at. I know most of our listeners, some will have grasped the fucking dangers and the horrors you went through there. Oh my fucking God, Jerry!
I'll tell you better again, Tom. I had a kickboxing tournament in the morning.
Of course you did, Daniel's son. Of course you.
During my fucking 18-month stint at taking on with kickboxing, I had this notion that I was going to drive to fucking some community centre in Kildare and go to a kickboxing tournament, which I gotta tell you, spoiler alert, I did not get to. I was at home polluted drunk.
You didn't accept the kumite.
I did not accept the kumite. I fucking got up and had a cup of tea and then went to a garden centre at 12 o'clock and asked to be put out of my fucking misery.
Amazing.
Drunkest I have ever been.
Round of applause. Jeremy. Right.
And there you go, Tom.
There we go. So, unfortunately, Jerry, we've come to the end of the show. But before we go anywhere, we have a bit of a surprise for everybody, don't we?
Oh, absolutely, Tom. I mean, never say that you don't get your digital money's worth with the Tom and Jerry show, because we've been hooshing out bonus episodes all this season, and this is no different.
Yeah, people are enjoying these bonus episodes, Jer. And I like the way you said people are getting a digital value for their money. There's no money needs to happen, lads. There's no money needs to happen. So after every episode you do download, listen to, please, give us the 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to. Give us a lovely comment, because at the end of the season we will give a prize out for top comment. But also just share the love. Tell everybody about it. Yeah, fuck's sake. And in return you will get bonus episodes on Thursday. And this week, Tom, this is a gentleman that you brought into the fold. It is, of course, yes, because we wanted to change tack, whether it be performers and whatnot, but also all the walks of life have an odd day at the office, don't they? They have an odd gig. Absolutely. So this week we have none other than former Leinster Connacht and Ireland hooker Bernard Jackman, everybody. Bernard Jackman. Now, not only did Bernard have a great playing career, he did went on to be a fantastic coach. Well, he coached the Dragons in Wales, but he coached Grenoble, and his story comes from his Grenoble days. If anybody knows anything about Grenoble, it's very, very French. And even though, Tom, I got to tell you that I wasn't the biggest rugby aficionado, I had to be told it was the oval ball. This story here puts the fucking shivers up me. It is sweating from 3 months out. That's the thing. There's 3 months of sweating out comes to one crucial point. Is brilliantly told, and what a hell of a worst gig ever. An excellent gig, and I'm looking forward to people hearing it. And again, guys, if there's anybody you'd like to hear on our bonus episodes of Worst Gig Ever, let us know in the comments. As I always say in these circumstances, Tom, we almost certainly can't get them, but you just never know. You just never know. We'll throw a hook out there. Anyway, stop saying 2-pack. He is dead. Nothing we can do there. Not a whole pile. It's 2 packets. They're looking for your man 2 packets from fucking Clare. He's a different fella altogether. If they're looking for a 2-pack epoxy resin is what they're looking for, Tom. With that being said, Tom, wonderful talking to you. Beautiful talking to you. People, good night, God bless, and thanks.